Welcome back to Yildiz Readings 5D. Grab a cuppa, sit back and relax. All the information for bookings is at the end of this video. Welcome back for the read for Divine Masculines. We're going to channel the energy for Divine Masculines. Now, I have pulled cards. We do have lives throughout the month. We are live every Friday if you want to come and join us, as well as we have the Members Hub. Now, yes, you are listening to a twin flame. So it's not just channeled messages. It's coming from someone who's been on the path for a very long time. So let's get into the messages. Now, what I'm seeing happening this week for Divine Masculine is something major in their foundation shifting. I do feel if there's been inactivity, it is due to a foundation that is crumbling. I'm seeing a little bit of fatigue coming through at the moment. It is something that they're directly correcting that was from last year in their past. Really, it is very frustrating. I can see through the frustration. Now, it is the steps that they're directly taking in the movement forward. Now, you know, come through with the screen and it's always reversed, but it is in the movement forward. So this movement forward is to do with correcting their foundation. This can be a home or a family related dynamic. It is to do with stability. And at the moment, it's in the works. It's in the mix. So this can be, and I am going to go into the extension. We will, in the extension, look at how they're seeing the karmic and how they're seeing you. But in this one, we're tuning into all the surrounding energies of what's coming through. You potentially could come through in the read and the mix of it. But we are going to continue on. So this foundation, it seems to be that it has cracked. It's very unstable. They're taking steps to correct it. They're very tired. They're also really questioning with Neptune and Pisces. It's like, where is my energy at? Is this the dream that I thought? You know, I've really been stuck in my head. Is this something in my life that I thought the dream was? And I feel for some of them, they're just really looking at everything very matter-of-factly. So there's no sugarcoating it. There's an acceptance of what these circumstances are, but nevertheless, they are looking at it as an inconsistency. It's something that needs rectifying and clearing up. Where they are at, it can be a little bit like a deer in the woods, staring in the face of the circumstances, potentially even a little bit gobsmacked and in awe of what they're actually physically seeing. And I always say this happens during a Venus direct. You generally go through a phase in Venus retrograde where you are really romanticizing things and really longing for those things to get back on track. You then go into the middle phase and you're seeing the yin to the yang. The cracks, the imbalances, the instabilities, the values you once had in them, really checking in with if you still do, and then you see the gospel ugly truth. And as we go direct, it's trying to psychologically come to terms with those things, and that's happening in each of our lives. But for the masculine, it is associating with both career, loved ones, money, value, self-esteem. It is a viewpoint that they're looking at this point. Like, well, what are my belief systems? How do I feel? Is this psychologically affecting me if I continue doing this? And I feel it's almost like some of these items we're going to lay down, especially moving into the Leo moon, which we will have another update before we reach such. I do feel again with the South Node last year, we did have Sagittarius there, and Divine Masculines are linked in astrology to both Mars and Jupiter. And at the moment we have Jupiter in the House of Pisces, which is them spiritually realizing where their hopes and dreams can come true, but it's what they thought something was versus what it actually is. This can also be them connecting into you with the 5D. They're still recovering through that cycle where it was in the South Node. Yes, we have moved into the shift of it, but we're now going to see that forward momentum happening in the month of February. So I do feel for a lot there is this movement forward. They are quite stuck until this is corrected. So in their mind, they're feeling, okay, where is the way forward? Yes, for a few days, we can feel a little bit foggy and confused in life. And definitely as we come out of shadow phase, it's stationary on the 4th, which is not the greatest of times to make any major decisions. And at times we have to. And then for a good 3 days, we're integrating. So you can get very foggy, very tired, maybe nauseated, having ascension symptoms, but I do feel they're pushing on and they're moving on ahead. Now I feel, you know, they've had to look at their belief systems and they've had to change the way they're tackling this. And I feel Something is changing, and I'm going to pull a clarify on this. Something is changing when it does link to the circumstances in their life. They've had to change their approach of how they tackle it. They've had to be honest with the commitment and energy they now currently have, because something has changed. So their approach with these situations in their life are directly changing. Yeah, it's a test of commitment. This is a test of commitment to do with these areas. What they're moving away from, I'm going to pull clarify. They're moving away from a separation. They're coming to terms with the past. And again, I said this, especially for the feminines, it's the ghosts of girlfriends past, you know, but it's the ghosts of our past in relation to connections, relationships, previous jobs we had. We're facing that shadow, and for the masculines, they're looking at this. A lot of jealousy's been coming up, but, you know, it's almost been we're facing a shadow. We're looking at the mirror, and in the twin flame connection, yes, feminines, they can be looking at you. They can be understanding maybe from a perspective you're coming from, but for a lot of them, what is coming through in channeled messages is there is a circumstance inside of viewing their karmic cycles where they're not looking at these the most attractive way at the minute. They do feel that it is a cycle that is ending. Okay, they're seeing something differently. They're seeing the way you see things, but they're also looking at their own personal lives and seeing the truth of who a person really is. I also feel they've had to face their shadow inside, you know, and a lot of times a masculine will not exhibit jealousy. Many twins do mention this. Some will, where they're more interconnected and it's more to do with the belief system. But others, it is this more this value of control. So wherever there was control and they were hoping for the best, I feel they're just looking at that now and they're like addressing some of these circumstances. I do feel they understand that where those energies were coming from in the past and why they made the choices they made. Yes, it did actually attract circumstances that weren't the nicest to go through, but at the same time, what was going on in the aura between both parties, I feel it was causing angst and it was causing insecurity. So for some, yes, the separation did happen. I do feel at the moment there could be a circumstance that they're walking away from, and, you know, people may have viewed them in a sense in society that they were very lucky to have what they had. Others, it could have been a job. Others, it could have been a karmic circumstance. And, you know, it's these hats that we wear in modern society. And it's what we would be deemed as tribe, especially with that new moon in Aquarius. It's what makes us tribe. But for some of us, we may not feel that we actually feel like tribe in certain circumstances. So I feel for some, and especially those that are separated from a karmic, I feel they've had this time to really integrate and upgrade. They have done a lot of reflection of the past, and I feel their self-esteem is rising, and they're very focused on their pentacles at the moment. But they can, for some, they can be a bit pissed. I'll just say it. Like, how did I get myself in that circumstance? Why was I allowing this person to control me? But there's definitely that feeling where they're letting go of the old and they're allowing the new to live. For some, there is a circumstance where there is a lot of money involved in a circumstance, and it can be great losses, it can be great gains. I do feel they do have a plan, and whatever this plan is, we may not see it in the same fashion. We may look at that circumstance as something that's going to take a very long time to deal with, something that is going to look extremely messy, but I do feel they're facing their wounds, and I feel they're choosing to do something in a certain fashion that they feel is best for them. So, you know, we're really needing to step back and to observe it from a different frequency so that we don't affect the equilibrium of this. And what do I mean by that? A lot of times, especially in my twin flame path, when I had reconnection, now, you know, back in reunion, what I did find is what I believed my role to be was, and what I believed the circumstances surrounding my twin were a direct projection of what I thought, but it didn't mean it was gospelly true of what that person was feeling. So when we do step back and we have more tools in life, we actually can look at that circumstance differently. There's something personal that they're doing right now. They're tackling this wound. They're realizing these choices that they made, you know, it was due to a belief system. We manifest these things in. I do feel for some, they're actually looking at the karmic and they're realizing how controlling and one-sided the situation is. So the movement may not have happened out of this situation, but I do feel during that new moon in Aquarius and moving into the full moon, these emotions are coming up, and I do feel they're kind of stepping back a little bit. They're keeping their cards close to their chest. But they do feel the reason why they had this false start was because they felt this situation would be safe. They felt that that situation would be a sure deal. They weren't noticing this was directly impacting them in their foundational sense through their lineage, through not owning their power and actually, creating those healthy boundaries. So I see this coming to a head this week. For some, they did come in prematurely. For some, it's there's been a delay. There may need to be a change of plans. It is to do with the contract. It is to do with the way they're tackling it. Some can be going to court. Some, it's old situations coming up as we go shadow direct. And I do feel, again, it's going to give a lot of closure. It's going to give a lot of closure, and the healing card comes out. Yeah, it's going to give a lot of closure. It's going to help this person come full 360. Okay, where are they at in their headspace, please? They don't want you to be sad. They're healing. They're also not enabling. Okay, where are they in their heart space, please? Yeah. Whew, they're going to be very critical on themselves. Frustrated, equally so. 100% very much like feminine at the minute with things that we're needing to tackle. I feel they're getting hard. They're being hard on themselves. So they totally know that, in order to have success in life, it's a little bit like, okay, we're going up a mountain. Number one, we're going to need water. We're going to need supplies, which are the tools that we have in life. And it's a process. It's one foot after the other. But it does feel they've been walking up and 20 paces back. So spiritually speaking and in their heart, they're quite cross at the fact that A, they missed something, or B, they didn't realise how this person was treating them, how they were actually giving their power to this circumstance, and it was okay. For some, it may be that they're not currently working and they're wanting to return to work. They're wanting to get their power back. They realised to a degree it was self-sabotage to keep them stuck. This wasn't about the karmic. This was about them. On the other side of the fence, for those that have separated, I feel they're accepting who the karmic is. But this would be more a, tongue-in-cheek, a more toxic individual. And I feel there's a distance between both of these energies. This person may have had stalker kind of vibes to them. This person did play mind games. This person may have been very up and down. This person can use manipulation and wellness to control the connection. This can be saying, look, I'm not well. I really need your help. I feel there's a distance between these two individuals, and I do feel this person is actually taking their power back. I feel that they're, securing themselves a job. They've moved away from the environment. I feel 3 friends around them for some reason. This could be siblings. This could be male friends, but I feel it's friends. For others of you, there's a big plan that they're making. They're just getting in and doing it. It's taking a little bit longer than they thought. Some of them may be wanting to have a brief break. Some of them are working away. I don't know why I got that, but they wanted me to say it. Okay. Foundation, please. What's the foundation? There's a lot going on with the foundation. Okay, a few messages here. This is going to be interesting going into the extension. Okay. In their foundation, there is a past love they're tuning into. This will be more for those that are solo, but I feel this is more to do with the one that got away, and I feel this is divine feminine. I also feel their belief in love has changed. The perspective has shifted. Yes, they do. I mean, this extension read's going to be interesting. There's certain things I can't say on YouTube. There's certain things I can't. So it'll be a little bit in the dark tarot style inside the extension, only because some of the messages I merely can't state here. I'm sorry, I just can't. It just wouldn't be appropriate. the way they're describing the way they see this karmic cycle, it's actually quite comical. So they're almost showing me that it's only rational, they feel, the reasons why they did shy away from relationships. They did get stuck in this circumstance to a degree. I feel they're questioning the foundation of their beliefs inside a contract. And if, you know, when it does come to you, they have more of a spiritual connection with you. And they're like, how did I not see this? How did I not see this connection back then the way I do now? And I do believe they always felt that they loved you. But again, because of lineage and tradition, what it was coming down to was what their role needed to be. And I do feel this is really shifting. Some of you are feeling as though they are going to move back into a karmic connection. They're actually gauging where you're at. Now, this can be by them watching you in social media, but I do get this stalkerish energy. I also get that this person that they were with or currently with, it's a very jealous person. So let's get into the extension. Let's just jump in. There's energy coming through already for the karmic. There's something that they're not showing, which I'm going to get into. I can see what it is, but we're going to go further into that, and definitely relating to their intentions moving forward with Divine Feminine and what the foundational issue is. So if you want to join us, come through. I do feel this is going to move. I do feel they have reached acceptance. There is a bit of a delay though, so we're going to dig into what that delay is. Otherwise, I'll see you on live Fridays at 7 a.m. Take care. Subscribed. I'd love to see you. Come date me, as I say, on YouTube. And for 2022, we have a lot more new content. Romance reads, twin flame updates. Yes, we have the Members Hub online, so come through and join us. And giveaways. Very separately, 2 channels being launched, as well as the Membership Hub on my website. So please click the bell. I'll see you soon, and come and join us for the lives and the super chats. Any questions, DM me.